Kitty was perfectly content after Mother left. She just settled down.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Okay, I have a question for you. Do you know a fellow by the name of Everett Overhauls?
I sure do.
Oh, Effie.
I sure do know who Everett Overhauls was.
Well, I always heard that you were very fond of him.
Ah! And I stood on the bridle rein so he couldn't hit Nina and Dolly. Old Effie Bowlegs. Oh, what an old...
I got in trouble because of him. Because Sarah and David named Logan Everett. And when they said that, I laughed. And that wasn't nice because it was a family name of David's and they liked the name. I thought it was a terrible name.
And we would wait till he'd got in the toilet, and then we'd throw rocks at the
Oh,
toilet.
my goodness.
Okay, is that where you tricked your sister
Into opening the door?
Yeah.
made her think that she was doing some
We'd
great
have a
thing?
race to there, and of course she couldn't resist a race because she could outrun us. And she ran, but I can still see her yanking open the door. Old Effie Belllegs, I'm sure his hat's kind of flew back.
Goodness. That's awful.
And Mother would have fired him when
I wasn't
Mother
that
would have
bad. I
fired
didn't
him.
have anybody to be bad with.
When, was it with BG? Yeah, I guess it was when BG was trying to get herself born. And Ernest had to wake up Uncle Dick in the middle of the night and tell him to go up and milk the cow because Effie couldn't milk a cow.
Yeah.
And Mother said, I'd have fired the SOB at that time. And he would wander up if he needed a job. He'd wander up and he'd have to work for him for a few days. And he ate more food than he worked. And he always cleaned up the food, whatever's on the table. Old Effie, we always called him Effie Bowlegs. And Effie Bowlegs was always the bearer of bad news. Because he would hear the telephone and he would driving his old Ford up the road. And when old Effie showed up time of day, you know, he wasn't bringing any good news. It was always bad news.
I found a picture and showed Ivy in the museum of the Overhauls grocery store in Grey Cliff.
Well, and so anyway, I have kind of a background of the Overhaul family someplace. But anyway, old Effie Bowlegs. I'm afraid we never called him Everett. We always thought him as Effie Bowlegs.
Did you see him fall into Brannan's pond?
Oh,
During the ice?
I don't know. I don't think I was there to see that, but I heard it so well that, you know, because by gosh, he'd show them how to pull that ice off. Some of these things I thought I saw, but I probably didn't really, but I heard about them so graphically I could picture them in my mind.
Billy and Jimmy Hicks, they cut the ice there and they loaded all except one block and it really blocked it 2 blocks long. It was a big one. It hadn't got cut in 2 the other way. And so they said, pull it out and then put it on top of the load and hold the load in. So Jimmy Hicks and Billy Briner, they got there and they hooked the ice cones in, pulled it part way up. It went up about this high and then down. Effie said, give me those. He says, I can do it by myself. And he didn't do it by himself. Pulled the ice about halfway up, and when it went down, back down in, so did Effie. And all of us thought it was funny, except Uncle Dick.
Why didn't he think it was funny?
Huh?
Why didn't Uncle Dick think it was funny?
Well, he kind of sympathy had to walk back all the way up to the
Uncle Dick never,
half a
Uncle
mile.
Dick never, you never heard Uncle Dick. I tried to reconstruct Uncle Dick's laugh. I don't remember Uncle Dick ever much laughing. Uncle Gus, of course, laughed. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And Barney had this little, kind of a soft giggle. And I don't remember Uncle Dick any laughter. He would smile, he was humor, could see the humor, but I can't reconstruct his laugh.
I don't know, I can't. Uncle Gus, though,
He had a belly laugh.
he would tell you the truth and then laugh about it, and you'd know he was lying. And he could tell you a lie and straight face, you know he's telling the truth.
That Uncle Gus,
Yeah.
he was always lying,
And
especially when he was playing cards.
Yeah.
But he did funny things right here, and you knew he was lying.
so I asked Mother once, I said, tell me, what was Granny like?
You have another battery?
Huh?
You have another battery?
No, I don't think so.
What kind of batteries are those?
Okay, he's in big trouble. Yeah.
Are those titanium, what do you call them?
It's one of these,
They might have them right down here at the drugstore,
Well,
hospital.
I think I've about taken all the pictures I need to for right now. Now all I have to do is figure out how to get pictures of pictures.
I would say your son Jeremy should have sent you another battery.
He didn't know I was going to take these many pictures, I guess.
Well, we're going to
I'll send you a copy of mine, okay?
rub it in. We're going to eat in about 40 minutes.
What did you like best,
Okay.
Does that sound like
Effie
a good
or
program?
grandfather?
That way we won't.
What?
You know who'd you like
Hold you
best,
up.
Effie or grandfather?
Grandfather or
Grandfather Ward. Or Effie both.
oh, which would I like the best? I don't know. I didn't separate them like that. You know, they just had their little categories. Grandfather Ward was. I was kind of scared of him, and I wasn't scared of Effie.
You could outrun Effie anytime.
But I asked Mother, but Granny, I said, what was Granny like, you know? Because I didn't know what she was like. And she said, well, she always was kind of happy. And she was always singing or whistling. And I didn't know she whistled. She was always singing or whistling. And she laughed a lot. And she had this deep belly laugh like Gus. And so she laughed and she whistled and she sang. And she also helped me get scared to death once, because I don't know what it was, and Ralph was there. And Ralph said, he was going to cut my ears off or something. And Granny says, call him Old Hickman. And he says, if she does, I'll slap her. She says, she will call you Old Hickman and you will not slap her. And so she, come on, call him, oh my gosh. And I thought Granny was probably the bravest person in the world. Old Hickman. Hickman was, at that time, he was a nasty man that did something horrible to killed some little kids or did something, I don't know. But the word Hickman was just, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something.
Did we live in their house?
No, it was just one of those things like international news, except they didn't have international news.
And we lived in the Hickman